She's starting for a test. Bunsen comes around and says, I'll help you do your best.
Okay, we'll cross our fingers if it does the bounce Instagram.
But Bunsen's on beauty, keeping everything all right.
It did.
And what about YouTube?
It's on YouTube.
Wow.
I know.
This is so impressive. Welcome to Jason's TED Talk. Tech Talk.
John, I've moved you up on live. Is that okay, or do you want to be in the green room till we... It's good? Okay.
From the cat to the beaver, even mom's in the mix. Oh, Bunsen's in the chat, let the good time grow. Woof, woof, Bunsen's on the go.
Hello, Instagram crew.
Woof, woof,
Hello, Facebook crew. Hello, Twitter/X crew. And then, of course, new viewers on YouTube. We have hooked up to YouTube today. From the cat to the beaver, even mom's in the mix. Oh, Bunsen's in the chat, let the good time grow. All right, you ready to start, Chris?
Jason, I was born ready.
Okay. Hello, pet enthusiasts. Welcome to Pet Chat. My name is Jason Zakowski. I'm the dog dad of Bunsen, Beaker, Bernoulli, and Ginger. I'm the cat dad of Ginger, the science animals on social media. My co-host with the mostest is...
Hi there, I'm Chris Zakowski. I am the dog mom to Bunsen, Beaker, and Bernoulli, and the cat mom to Ginger.
Our guest today that you'll hear from really quick in about 5 to 10 minutes is John Heim. Hello, John. How you doing? Hey, good deal. And of course, the fourth camera is the B Squad and maybe Ginger. Ginger was throwing herself at the far right-hand door trying to get in because apparently there are treats. If you're listening on Twitter Spaces, which is audio, or X Spaces audio only, you will hear John's voice and Chris's voice through the Bunsen account avatar, because I've got it all teched in there. Hopefully everybody can hear us. We are going to start with some Q&A. It's been a couple weeks because we've been on holidays. So we'll start with some quick Q&A about Bunsen, Beaker, Bernoulli, and Ginger. Drop your comment in the chat, and Chris and I will get to that. And then we're going to get on with the interview with John. So A. Ronan's Journey asks from Instagram, how did Bernoulli get his name? Was it different from Bunsen and Beaker? Chris, do you want to field this one? We've talked about it before, but it's a good story.
It is a fun story. It's kind of has to do with the origin story of getting Bernoulli. It kind of came quickly, right around May long weekend last year. And I said, Jason, I have a lead on Bernie's mountain dog puppies. And would you be interested in getting a puppy? And you said, of course, but you didn't think it was going to happen. And then I arranged it, and we drove up to Grand Prairie, which is a 12-hour round trip for us. Yeah. There was a long drive. And then I said, okay, so we're going to meet the puppies. There are 6 males, 4 females, and your criteria was that we had to have a male, and then we had to name with a B, a name starting with B. Yeah. So we drove up. We met all the cute puppies. They were so cute. I wanted all of them. I actually wanted to get 2.
You did want to get 2.
Yeah, but we ended up picking red collar puppy.
Big red.
Big red. Yeah. He actually lives up to Big Red like that. Yeah.
He's big.
Gets a little longer, something a little longer with Big Red. That's a commercial from my childhood. But anyway, so we're driving home and we're thinking of names and science names, of course, to tie with our theme. Yeah. And I was looking at a bunch of lists, and finally I just said, what about Bernoulli? And I knew it was the right one because Jason's voice also caught, and he said, yep, that's perfect. Yeah.
Bernoulli is a Swiss scientist, Swiss German. The Swiss want to claim Bernoulli, and the Germans want to claim Bernoulli. Bernese Mountain Dogs are, of course, a Swiss breed. So that fit. And what made my voice catch was our account tries to promote kindness and science and provide lift. And that is one of the main principles of Bernoulli's principle, is the principle of lift. At least, it became lift after many years. Bernoulli was not alive when planes were flying, but his principles of changing pressures due to speed is how planes fly. And it's now called the principle of lift. So that's where Bernoulli's name came from. Thanks for that great question. Okay, we got another one from Instagram. Cheryl asks, was the crew over the moon happy when you got home? And yes, yeah, they were all very, very happy. I don't think they were as bananas as I thought they would be. They were very happy to see us, as is really any pet when you leave for a while. There was some concern that Ginger would have some shenanigans, be angry at us that we left. As I see Donna's here, and I'm glad Donna's here. Donna Craig says that her cat sometimes acts up when she's gone, but Ginger was fine. She was happy to see us all. Any questions in the chat from Twitter, Chris, before I read more from Instagram?
Yeah, the question is, what brand of vacuum cleaner do we have?
Well, we had a really awesome, what is it? It's a Dyson one.
The animal.
Like for spot cleaning, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it is beat up. I don't know if I would recommend it. I don't know.
But we have a central vac.
Yeah. So we have we're pretty fortunate to have a central vac. It allows, you can vacuum the house every day very quickly. We don't vacuum every day, but we do vacuum probably twice a week for sure, or sweep, or more if company's coming over and we don't want them to see the dog hair that piles up in the corners. So that's the vacuum question.
Couch. It's like,
oh yeah,
Tumbleweed City under the couch.
Sue Cracks is wondering if it was Grand Prairie, Texas, and that would be a lot more than a 6-hour drive. No, that's Grand Prairie, Alberta, Canada. We're Canadian and we live in Alberta. So that would be a heck of a thing to go get a dog from Texas. Not impossible, just improbable.
Well, and they have new regulations going over the border now,
right,
with animals. And so that came in recently, I want to say within the last 2 years.
Mm-hmm. Which is smart. Like I think you shouldn't have like pets go willy-nilly everywhere. They can bring disease, and it doesn't take much for a dog, for example, with rabies to shut down an entire area and cause some really serious ramifications. So I understand the caution when you bring animals across.
What about a tapeworm cyst?
A tapeworm cyst. Well, I think that probably traveled in wolf or coyote, Chris. Though, yeah. Okay, looks like all the questions have kind of dried up, which is usually the case between the 5 and 10 minute mark. Do you see any other questions before we get going?
I don't, but sometimes my feed doesn't refresh.
It is working on YouTube because Mark is watching from YouTube and dropped a comment from YouTube. Hi, Jason, Chris, and Johnny, and B Squad. And Madison is watching on Facebook. I like the little icons that come up. And Kalev is watching on Twitter. And unfortunately for the Instagram folks, you guys are on a separate page. All right. Looks like we're out of questions, but that's fine. We've got a bunch of questions for our guest. So I'd like to introduce John today. John, how you doing?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for having me.
Now, the folks on Twitter or X probably know you best because that's where you're the most active and you do a ton of artwork for cats and dogs. We got tons of hearts and claps showing up in the chat for you, John, on Twitter, which is really sweet.
That's nice because I was thinking that the audience is basically the people. Oh, look at that.
I don't know if you can see that. People are dropping hearts and stuff. Sorry, go ahead, John.
I was just going to say, I was hoping that the audience wasn't what I'm looking at on the B Squad there because they're a little docile. Yeah, that's usually the effect I have on people. That just, eventually that's what happens. So
That's like my chemistry class in Block 7 in June. That's what all the kids look like.
Well, chemistry in June, that doesn't work. Yeah.
No, even that's how I felt
doing in June.
So I guess my first question for you, John, is what got you into doing art? Like you do all of these really cool cartoons. The big one I think people are familiar with is you did an awesome fundraiser for Marla in memory of Kuno. But where did your art start?
I think it started, as a young child in Winnipeg with long winters, just locking myself in the room and learning how to draw Snoopy, like I think just about everyone else on earth did. Kind of perfected Snoopy, did, mastered the Charlie Brown head, which was basically making sure that both ends of the circle kind of matched up around his ear.
Yeah.
And then I just, always was doodling rather than paying attention. I think I had more cartoons than notes all the way through elementary. And then, I'm on the older side. So in grade 6, it was 1976. And I recall entering a Shrine Circus poster contest just in, the open area at the school. And I ended up winning. And it was just, this ensemble, a collage of, folks in the trapeze, on the tightrope, just maybe an elephant or two. And then we won, the family won tickets to the Shrine Circus, which at that point I realized there's money in this. There's perks. I'm going to live large now. I'm just going to draw. Actually, so, then, for summer jobs, I worked at a place called Falcon Lake in a provincial park, and I started drawing cartoons for, they had a beach canteen. So I drew, folks climbing up a ladder, trying to access like a giant drink. I did some stuff. I came up with a line of like clothing called Shark Attack in early university, and I got some stuff silk screened, and I kind of learned the business of, taking an idea and actually turning it into something.
Yeah.
So at the time there was a market days at the university, and I just opened, I drew a shark on a hanger and put the t-shirt on him, and it was Shark Attack 3 fins. And, people were giving me $15 and then I migrated into sort of advertising, and, being able to animate and draw for a client helped visualize. It just removed a step and actually helped me close some sales. And now that I'm retired, I started drawing again during COVID and did quite a bit of work with the herd folks. Owen Wilson and Lucille Ball were pretty easy to draw. And Chihuahuas are funny because I usually make them kind of cross-eyed so their eyes aren't quite lining up, just adds, and then put some jewelry on them. And it just started building, and now I do it for fun, and I've kind of aligned with the pet community on X or Twitter at the time. And although I was surprised, I saw I was up to over 1,000 followers on Instagram, which is an easier way for folks to see my art, because Twitter is basically like walking outside in the morning and throwing pieces of paper in the air and hoping to find them somewhere, as far as art is concerned.
It's tough. Yeah.
Tough, yeah. So at least there's like a central repository there for art on Instagram, and then Blue Sky a little bit, but that seems to be, you can get fragmented pretty quick with posting same content across multiple platforms. So Twitter or X is kind of like home base, and then Instagram offers at least the ability to look at all the art.
We have some speaker requests on Twitter. We just have a couple more questions for John, and then we'll open up the floor to questions for you from the audience, if that's okay. Chris, do you have any questions?
Well, someone had posted about a book that you helped, I guess, illustrate called The Rose. And can you explain a little bit more about that? Like, it's for raising money for rescues, or can you?
Yeah, so I was approached by Erica, who is someone I've just met through X, and she's a writer and lives in Buffalo, New York, and reached out and said, we'd like to do something around generating content around the stories that these pets have gone through and hopefully raise some money. So we did one. I illustrated the first one and she wrote it, and we did it in conjunction with Kathy at Rescue Co-op and at Lola Patola, I think it's the little pup's name. So we ended up doing this book, and then she launched a little company called Unleashing Tales. The idea, I think we're up to 100 books, with about $600 going back with royalties back to the rescue. But the idea is to empower kids and schools to write stories about their local rescues, illustrate, write them, and raise funds for them, taking them through the process of story writing and being a little bit altruistic and learning that it's not just about being on your iPad all day. There are places that can you can be on it, but maybe with an eye for harnessing some creative power and really just unleashing your creativity and generating some great content and telling these pet stories. All these pets have usually horrible stories. I had been doing a little bit of, I'd followed sort of, I think it's Good Doggo and the guy, is it Nal in Thailand?
Yeah.
Yeah, Niall Harbison.
Oh, yeah. So I just randomly started drawing some of the stuff there and just doing the background and watching the videos and what he goes through and his team goes through to basically just keep these dogs alive and then hopefully find forever homes for them. It's quite compelling when you dig a little deeper. And then just the dog community on Twitter, like the efforts that people go to travel and get dogs rescued and rescued from, kill shelters and just some of the horrific things that people do to pets is just, it's sickening, but a lot of times through the efforts of this community, these dogs have a future. And they live to bring joy to the folks that end up adopting them, and then they get a few extra ear scritches and get to live out there for the rest of their days in a loving home. So that's why I do it. I draw because they can't. That's my motto. And I've started drawing. There's a little dog called Deke who visits little cancer kids. And so I started drawing some of that. He's got like a little, you can appreciate a little shirt he wears around and visits kids on their hospital beds and just brings, 15 minutes of joy to an otherwise kind of sad situation. So I love doing it. It comes easy to me, but I do work at it. And I do make sure that, that folks, have something fun to remember their pets with. But the one I did for Marla, it was sort of We're All Made of Stars, I believe. I was listening to a Moby song and that sort of stuck in my mind. And Kuno had just passed away, and I knew she was going through a lot of hardship with the loss and even just like the training that he had gone through to help her with just her daily, just getting through the day. And just, I know Chesney was kind of like in the wings. But so that one I just thought I'd hand draw individually 5 or 10, to help raise some money, and I threw it out there, and I woke up and there was like 89 requests.
Yeah.
So I'm not really set up for that. So I ended up drawing and doing prints. But the biggest part of that, truthfully, was people were getting hold of me on Instagram and direct messaging on Twitter, and then they would send me like a PayPal donation with their real name, and I'd have to match that up against their Twitter handle.
Right. Yeah.
Their mailing address, and then I've been hacked on PayPal, so there's like 1,000 of me on there now. So I actually have to go in and send an email request to everybody. So it just became this hydra-headed monster, but we ended up getting over 100 out, and I think we raised just over $10,000.
Yeah, that was amazing. Yeah. We have 2 of those prints actually.
That's right. Yeah, you guys were quite generous, so thank you for that.
Yeah, we have one. You have one in your school, right, Chris? You took it to your school.
Yeah, and they're framed.
Yeah,
I love them. I love Kuno. We were fortunate. to be able to go to the Red Deer Dog Show. And Marla and Kuno and Chesney definitely participated there. And I brought him a burger, and he's such a good boy. He was such a good boy. Like, he would hold it in his mouth, and like Beaker would scarf that down in 3 seconds. Like, there's no wait, no impulse control. But Kuno was just, I don't know. He had this presence. You would go and he would sit with you, and you're just relaxed and just rub him. And Chesney is like the cutest, gushiest, cute that ever. Like, she's such a sweetheart, but they're very different. They had very different personalities, and Kuno definitely was a special dog.
Yeah,
I recall, like, he would do the weather, right? And so he'd have a tie on, and he'd just be out doing the weather. And so I started drawing him on his own. And then whenever there's two dogs living together, there's way more opportunity for a dialogue between them. Somebody's done something they shouldn't have, or they're conspiring against something. Usually, as I mentioned earlier, you can never go wrong in a cartoon with a squirrel throwing an acorn at somebody. That just lends itself to imagining what's happening next or what happened just before that. So I like to leave a little bit of whimsy in my cartoons and get people to think of what might have happened just before I drew that, or what they're looking at. So
yeah, I'll tell you, writing text from Bunsen, way easier now than when we just had Bunsen. That was tough.
Well, because you're trying to get in his head, but now you can, you can lay that over Ginger now, right, or whatever.
Yeah.
Cats are easy. Cats always have such an attitude that I often hope somebody has a cat and some dogs, because that immediately sets up some degree of chaos.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Okay, one more question for you, and then we'll get to everybody waiting patiently. And that's just about your own pets. Do you have any currently? Do you have any stories from pets that are no longer?
I have one. My first pet was a budgie, and that was growing up. Her name, creatively enough at the time, was Pretty Girl. And our family went on vacation, and we left the bird with our backyard neighbors, and we were all very anxious to get home. And we got home, and they handed the cage over the fence, and it was a completely different color bird. And they had switched out the bird. The bird apparently had flown away while we were on holidays, and they tried to pawn off a blue bird when we gave them like a green and yellow budgie. So I was traumatized, and still imagine Pretty Girl's out there living a very fruitful life, maybe not pushing a shopping cart around with recycling in it, but she's just enjoying herself, all these years later. Since then, I've had 4 Basset Hounds, which is a story in and of itself. And 2 at one time, and they both like to be on the bed when we had 2 kids. So very busy part of my life was the late 90s. We had 2 Basset Hounds and 2 little girls in the house. So that we had the parade that would go down the road. And then we had a Basset Hounds, they're a beautiful dog. They're very stubborn. You could be out for an hour and a half and still be on your front yard.
Oh man.
Yeah, their ears get very sort of smelly, and they drag, they were bred to trap the smell in their ears, right? Yes, so it was near their nose, and so they're their dewlap, and so I've had to say goodbye to 4 dogs, which is never fun, obviously. And as much as you like to give them the last meal and stuff, it's just that drive home. Is just, you get over it, and you try to, but then you see something under a couch, and you're like, oh my God, okay.
Yeah.
Here we go. And then right now I have Olive, and she is an 8-year-old French bulldog.
Ah.
And she lets us live in her house, which is very nice. And my wife wants to get a parrotlet.
A what? Sorry?
A parrotlet. It's a new breed of bird. It's like a little parrot. She has a friend who has one, who has a dog also, and we get videos of the bird on the dog's back, and they're playing. And I just don't know if Olive would, instantly eat it, kind of like Sylvester and Tweety. But anyway, Olive is she's a little firecracker for sure. So I do get some inspiration on general dog behavior, not breed specific, but we have a big log pile in the backyard, and Olive will climb it and pull a log out and sit down and chew all the bark off of it for no reason. Absolutely no reason whatsoever. So
It must be delicious.
I'm assuming it's got something in there that she needs. I have to get the leaf blower out every night just to clear off the patio. But she's a treat. I love her.
All right. Thanks for the stories. And it's always, it's wistful to remember the dogs you've lost, but then there's also that tinge of, sadness too. But I appreciate you telling everybody. Where's the current dog? At your feet?
She's out in the backyard barking right now with my wife. So
she's
I've got some. Well, we've in the last 2 months we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dogs move in around us.
Okay.
And she's going insane. She hears, like, I'm trying to work on like how to not get her to bark in the backyard. Like her hair stands up like a Wolverine, and she actually barks so aggressively she kind of hops backwards. It's very comical to see, but she's outside barking right now. So awesome. Not my problem currently.
Okay, so we have a bunch of people who are requesting. My guess is they want to talk to you, John. Asking you a question.
If I owe anybody money, we can talk offline.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna try and keep it somewhat organized. So we're on 4 different platforms right now. So we'll start with maybe somebody on Twitter Spaces, and then we'll go to one of the comments from people watching live. And then for people who are watching live, you're going to hear the voice of the person asking the question. You are not going to be able to see them because they're on X Spaces. So you might like, who's talking? Where's that voice coming from? But that's what that is. Okay. We'll go to the herd who requested the mic.
Hello.
Hi, Teen. How are you?
It's in ages.
It has been a while. We've missed you.
I have a food and medication schedule that I finagled this time while I was. I had y'all on mute for a little bit there. I wanted to say hello, voice to voice, to Johnny, and thank him for everything he has done for us. I don't know exactly how he stumbled on us, but it was with Owen Wilson. I dropped a couple of pictures in the comments. There's like a 15-second sketch that he's probably mortified that I put up. But for whatever reason, that's the very first piece of artwork I saved. My phone is full of his artwork.
Aww.
He drew a picture of these. I have one pair of pink boots, and he immortalized them, and it became a thing. And everybody thinks that I love pink, which I don't. I will pink gifts with love because I know it comes from the heart, but it is absolutely not my color. But it is my color because of this sketch that Johnny did for me. Most recently, he helped me raise funds for Catherine O'Hara. She's a senior diabetic Chihuahua who had about 10% of her vision left, clouded over from diabetic cataracts. Diabetic cataracts almost always turn into glaucoma. The cataracts themselves are not painful. Glaucoma is a pressure in the eye kind of thing. And it is extremely painful for dogs, like downright excruciating. And within a week of picking up Catherine, I picked up another dog who had the cataracts and glaucoma. Her eyes were, you can show them online. I couldn't let that happen again. So John did this fundraiser, and yeah, we raised over 50% of her bill just from that fundraiser. He doesn't owe me any money, and we'll clear that one up. But he's a fabulous artist, and it's been, kind of like watching Ant and Tram of the Pav Dog family grow up. John was a very, very small account when he approached me, and I fully exploited him. I don't take credit because it's all him. But I'd like to think that I pushed him into the ocean that is dog Twitter and cat Twitter and critters.
Oh.
So he draws my critters too. He did some great pieces of my bearded dragon. He also, Owen Wilson he was very, very ill. We nearly lost him around his first birthday. I bought him the stuffed giraffe with giant long legs because Owen had the giant long legs. Owen proceeded to destroy this poor animal, and it became a daily update thing, and we called it the Jeffrey Files. I would like to make it very clear this is Jeffrey with a G, not that other Jeffrey Files, because they're just bad and we don't want to talk about them. But yeah, I put a picture up of the files that he made. That's just a small sample. There were hundreds of them. I would like to report back that Jeffrey was saved by the help of the Bunsen Stuffy. I can't find the video of that, but it was the Bunsen Stuffy 1.0, Sebastian from We Rate Dogs, and I had kind of a live Twitter feed going along with it, and it has a very special place in my heart because they don't make the Jeffrey giraffe anymore.
They don't?
Kind of like a baby with their favorite binky or pacifier that, if it's not that, they don't want it.
Well, I love drawing your animals. I mean, I try to get to the couch shots every Friday. I think you do.
That'd be hard.
Yeah, I can't imagine the lead up to get everybody just sitting there.
They are so good I have been doing it so long that the new dogs catch right on, and they know they're getting a piece of Owen's special food. Owen's food is very expensive. It's also very smelly, and the dogs go wild for it. So that's their big treat for the week.
So I do have to ask, because you do more than, you do dogs and cats, but you do bearded lizards. And I have to ask about Turkey. Is he still around?
I don't have Turkey anymore. He had a disease called hole in the head, and it's exactly as bad as it sounds. I do have a little tank right now with the glows, like the go-go's. There's some glowfish. I have 3 frogs that started as Morgan Freeman and Morgan Fairchild. I lost one of them, so I got a couple more, and now it's Morgan, amphibians at law. I have a little community of snails that are keeping it clean for me, so it's super low maintenance. Yay for herd mom, because everything else is high maintenance. I also have a general pet chat update. I know there's some of our mutual followers on here, and maybe some of your followers remember me from a while back, but 2 of my parapups, Kiefer Sutherland, who's been paralyzed from the shoulders back for 2 years, is ready to start walking. He's crawling with both legs. He's standing up, holding it. He's figuring out how to move his legs with help from me. And I don't know if little Barry with spina bifida, who should never be walking, has been watching us or what, but I've been working on getting a dislocated knee back in place for him, and he took 2 whole real life steps this afternoon.
Amazing. That is
It is amazing. I saw your posts about it earlier, and I was like, whoa.
Yeah,
that's
I
just
was like,
amazing.
whoa. So here, I'll repost it, and that way, if you want to share that one, because it is good.
Right. And for folks, for example, that are on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube who maybe aren't familiar with who you are a registered nonprofit, and you basically help out dogs that have special needs, right?
I do the most extreme special needs.
Right.
I mean, some of them are not extreme, but for the folks off platform, I do have a very small Facebook. I had a private issue that I don't want to discuss with Instagram. Maybe we'll go back someday. I have a dog that has no back legs. I have paralyzed dogs. I have blind. I have deaf. I do a lot of medical rehabilitation as a foster mom for animals that need amputations. I never thought I would be an expert in the care of such a procedure, but I am. and I'm very honored that they let me help them.
And then you also help organize like cross country travels, like remember
do.
Nacho, and
Yes,
it was Nacho Run. Yeah.
Nacho was brought into my veterinarian with bags of medicine and a stack of veterinary papers that turned out not to be really the situation.
Mhm.
But he was a golden retriever and too big for my house. So where does he need to go? The Golden Ratio in the Florida Keys. We got together. We got, this was my first big run. And from Idaho to the Florida Keys, it took about a week. We had a ton of volunteers. The whole internet watched this thing. It was in the news.
Mhm.
Two-time Pulitzer Prize winning journalist Gwen Fiosa, mom to the dog Sergio. You should check them out. Shameless plug there. She wrote a lovely article about it, and that kind of made me want to get more involved with that. Most of my dogs end up getting adopted out of area off of the social media posts. People make connections with them. I always do the first part of the travel and get them at the very least to Utah. I have gone to Florida, and as far as Florida on one side, Los Angeles on the other, for dogs that have ended up staying here. I help people out for dogs that are not even mine. It's one of the coolest things you can do is help get a dog to their forever home. Cats, I think, are easier to travel with, but that hasn't really been, nobody really jumps at taking a new cat in a carrier. I can't blame them for that.
Cats are super particular at the Starbucks drive-thru too, so you don't want to travel with cats.
No, they don't mix well with Starbucks.
They're very demanding.
Yes. That other magic window, though, that has the broken ice cream machines, I won't plug them. They have some good ice cream, and some cats love cream, some don't. I have one that requires milk on the floor every day. Can't be in a dish, can't be on the counter, has to be floor milk, and a couple little drops, and she toodles off.
Oh, that's cute. Well, thank you so much for all that you do, Teen, and for stepping up to speak. We really definitely appreciate it. And I know that you've been excited to talk to Johnny here.
Yes.
So thank
you for giving me the open mic. I probably took up a lot of time, so I'm going to say goodbye and go feed some dogs.
It was really good to hear from you.
Okay. Love you guys. Bye.
Okay. Take care. We'll do a couple comments, then we'll get to another speaker. Mark, who's watching on YouTube, says, Johnny, love the cartoon you did of Ginger. Do you need an eraser?
Yeah, we talked about that just before, right? It was who's smarter.
And on Instagram, Ice Goddess says, we love seeing your work when it's posted on X. So people are just dropping comments about they love your art, John. Most people on Instagram, I think, are just watching right now. There's not a lot of comments. No. So that there's no comments or questions on Instagram right now. So we will go to who came up next, Chris? Was it?
Well, I was just going to say, Mark, the comment there, Mark has a beagle named Ginger, and she's sure a cutie. I don't know, Jason, you brought everybody up. I think Sasha, the Bernedoodle, was next. And then, so we'll go to Sasha, or it's actually Holly. Hi, Holly.
Hi, Chris. Hi, Jason.
Hello.
Hi. I'm good, and just wanted to say I'm so glad you guys enjoyed your week on my little island here.
Yeah.
So
it was awesome.
That was awesome. Sasha misses you, of course. She loved all the cuddles and loves. But I wanted to give a huge thank you to John for Sasha's birthday drawing. We absolutely love it. And she has been my little Muppet since the first time I ever saw her. And there's a little story there. I've been calling her a Muppet since she was a little puppy. And when she was about 6 months old, some friends of ours from Seattle came up to visit. And they, walked in, met Sasha, and one of them says instantly, "My God, you're right. She is a Muppet." So yes, next step is to get that mounted and framed and add it to my Sasha art collection.
Awesome.
So thank you so much for that. We love it.
I think
Yes,
we got to see that in person, didn't we, Holly? I think we
yes.
Yeah.
I showed it to you when you guys were here.
Yes, yeah,
So
we saw the art in person, John, because we had supper with Holly and Colin, and then we went back to their place and got to meet Sasha and Toby. It was awesome.
yes, and yes, and I don't think they're listening, but obviously a huge thanks to the mom of Beagle Bow and Beagle Sky for commissioning that for us. So absolutely love it.
Awesome.
Okay, we'll go to Paula, who's on X, and then Jamie. Hi, Paula.
Hi everybody. Hi Johnny. Nice to see you and hear you on X. This is so exciting. I couldn't wait to see this and hear this. So welcome. I put in the chat. I have a piece that Johnny did of late Olive. I love the name, by the way. Your dog, your Frenchie Olive, and my Angel Olive and Angel Rosie with Annie, our Pulley. And I actually got a gift of Marla's painting of Kuno. So I just had them framed together and I got it back yesterday. So I'm pretty excited about it, but I just showed half of it for mine, but you did an awesome job. We just love you. So we just wanted to know, what is your favorite animal to draw? And I see a sloth on your wall behind you. And I didn't know if that was like one of your favorite animals or, is there something that you said, oh gosh, I can't draw it? So it's kind of a combo question, like what's your favorite thing to draw, but is there an animal or dog breed that you came across and you're like, man, I just can't get this character, and you kind of like stumped on it. And thank you for all you do for Marla and the herd. I think you're an angel. So thank you very much.
Welcome. Thanks for all the kind words. So yeah, my drawing style has changed quite a bit. I look back at, I've probably got 1,000 drawings here in my studio that just aren't going anywhere. But if I look at like a sheet, like a stack of photocopy paper, about 500 sheets, I've probably got 6 or 7 stacks the same size of just random art. So that I got that it's a sort of a stuffy sloth. I can't have it near the ground or my olive will demolish it. But I got that at a tech conference, and I call it, they were giving them away at a booth, and I couldn't not bring one home. So that's my motivational sloth. It usually has a cartoon bubble beside it that says, "Get to work." It's somewhere around my studio here. As far as the funnest, probably the most common dog I've been drawing are beagles. I do a lot of work with the rescue co-op, and then Sky and Bo are both beagles, and they're just easy to draw. They have a fun snout, but I'm trying to test the limits on a lot of my drawing. I just get comfortable with certain poses, and I'm going through all my Disney books and my Warner Brothers books, and just looking at the different leg positions of dogs and how they open their mouth and kind of their facial expressions. Their head's turning one way, but their body is the other. Just getting the cadence down for when they're walking, making sure because the legs are alternating. So they're not both out front at the same time. One's back and the middle. It's just weird between running and walking. There's different ways the dogs and animals in general with 4 legs move. So I try to make sure I'm getting a little bit more accurate in my depictions, even though they're cartoons. There's some thought that goes into them. I've tried to draw Tyne's berry when he's been wet, and just not. I'm just trying not to always be so particular with where the lines fall. And when you've got a wet dog and you're just drawing with ink, which I should just mention now, I just draw in ink and paper and markers. I don't do anything digital. If someone needs something digital, I end up taking what I've done and just scanning it. In some horrific cases, I've gone through the process of inking it and coloring it on the good paper, and then realizing I've got the dog's name wrong. I've misspelt it, so that goes in the garbage, and I have to start all over again. But
Oh no.
yeah. So Paul, like beagles are easy to draw. I've stretched out and I've done some birds, and cats are fun to draw too, especially cats in like a cat tree or cat condos where they're scratching or they're kind of lazing. But I just try to like, and then lots of people ask me to like put themselves in with their pet. So I'm trying to get better at drawing people. I'm not quite a caricaturist. Those guys seem to have a certain vibe to their output. I don't draw that way, but and then yeah, just having a conversation between the pets. We talked about with Jason earlier about when there's more than one animal in the picture, it's so much more fun to create a bit of a conversation with the pets. So it creates some dynamics, and it doesn't get old because you smile at it all the time. Very long.
Well, that's great. Well, thank you very much. I think it's great, and I can see you evolving. I've been watching you for quite a number of years now, so it's really awesome to see how you've been, growing and going into different avenues. So congratulations. I hope too that you maybe do a book on your own too. So that would be great, or something good comes along too. So great job, and again, thank you for everything that you do.
Well, I appreciate the kind words, and thanks for following us all.
Thanks for the comment, Paula. I do have to say, you did draw me with Ginger. Like you did a picture of me with Ginger, and you definitely made me look kind of like Commander Shepard from the Mass Effect video game. So I do appreciate.
Yeah, I was very generous with you, Jason. Very generous.
You definitely shaved off some of my neck fat. Looked pretty svelte in the picture you drew, so I appreciate that.
It was more about Ginger. Why does it always come back to you? I don't know.
What? Oh,
you know what I mean? Like it's always about you.
The drawing of I'll share the picture for people who are watching live. Yeah, the drawing of Ginger is very, very cute. And that one we have up on the wall in our house too. Oh, that's the wrong button. One second.
You just got the one of you and Ginger on your shoulders, right? That just arrived?
Yeah. The one I'm talking about.
Yeah, that
so
one.
People who are watching live, you can see that. Great job. Thank you.
You got the holiday 5 o'clock shadow there.
Yeah.
Jason gets that by like if he shaves at 6 a.m. he gets that by I don't know 7:05.
Okay.
Like he just all of a sudden boom, he's a chia pet. It just grows very quickly.
I am very close to an orangutan in my family tree. Okay. Thanks, Paula. We'll go to Jamie and then to Donna, and then we'll get to some comments because a couple have popped up. Hi, Jamie. Hello.
Hi, Jamie.
Hello. Sorry it has been so very long. I've been really busy with work and hiking and dogs and all that sort of stuff. But John, thank you very much for all your artwork. I don't have one personally, but I love seeing them when you post them. They are well done and so amusing in so many cases. So thank you very much.
Sometimes I think I'm posting too much stuff.
No.
Now that I'm retired from the workforce, I spend a lot of time here at my drafting desk and drawing. So not a lot of it, I would say 80% of it makes it to the airways, but there's some stuff that it doesn't. I've tried not to be political. I've learned that people aren't following me to hear about my world vision of politics. So I've stopped putting anything orange in my cartoons. It's all about the pets. Yeah, because I've actually had people say, like, John, we're not following you to hear your views on U.S. politics, so lay off. And I said, okay. Message. I'm sticking to pets.
From Australia. Yeah, coming from Australia, our views of U.S. politics are possibly similar to yours. But yes, your pet pictures are beautiful. Thank you very much. And from Pet News here, Rosie's doing well, River's doing well, Tennessee's doing well. The chicken's not so good. The dingo that lives in our street managed to get in and take away maybe 11 birds over the last 2 months.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, and I think Jackie was one of them, which is a bit sad. So, the fences have been repaired, and we're very, very careful with putting them away at night. But and the dogs don't actually do anything about keeping him out, which is a bit of a pest. But Rosie's, it's the middle of North Queensland winter, so winter in the tropics. So we got down to 7 degrees the other day, which was just bitterly cold for Townsville. And Rosie still went swimming because she's just insane.
Well, I'm glad to hear all the dogs are well, and I'm sorry to hear about the chickens. I know Gord lost a duck to an owl, didn't he? One of his ducks.
Yeah, and then we recently had a weasel come in to the coop, and it took a big hunk out of a chicken's neck, and the chicken survived, and so they put polysporin on it so it didn't get infected, but now it's like a growth, like the corpulus, what is it that
cordyceps?
The cordyceps is like it's like an alien's coming out. I know it's not a good look. It's not a good look, but the chicken's alive.
Chris, it's a giant scab and the chicken is doing fine.
Yes.
Okay.
The chicken is fine. It just has just the way it healed.
Yeah.
But thank you very much, and I'll hope to try and get back in more often. It's been so busy. And Donna, it is lovely to see you here.
Thanks for calling in.
No worries, thanks.
Thanks, Jamie. Johnny, you had a little smirk at the 7 degrees. You're a fellow Canadian, hey?
That's a beach day in Winnipeg.
Chris didn't want to hear this, but this morning there was frost on the grass, if you can believe it. Yeah, there was frost on our grass. I couldn't believe it. I was like, is that frost? And then I touched it and it was frost. So we had a really cold night where we are. So just a couple comments, then we'll get to Donna. Madison says maybe the chicken is the same one Bernoulli had. It has 9 lives. ACL says hello from North Carolina. And then just maybe to clear up something, because we have some new people listening, Roberto's like, who's talking? So we have people who are on Twitter or X and they're listening by audio, and they have the ability to jump in with their voice, if that makes sense. Okay. And then there was a bunch of comments on Instagram loving your drawings, because I've been sharing the screen. So people have been able to see them, John. So that's
okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. We'll go to, oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying that's the best place to see like the 3,000 cartoons that I've got, because you know, like I mentioned, once a cartoon's lost in your screen on Twitter, you won't find it again.
Yeah, you'd have to go to your profile and scroll down. Yeah. We'll go to Donna. Hello, Donna. Good to see you. Hopefully you're doing well.
Hi, y'all. Good to see y'all. And thanks. I put a comment in the comments because this isn't about me, but thanks, y'all. I just can't thank everybody enough for all the outpouring of love and people I've never met in real life except for a few of you guys. And I just feel so close and not so isolated. So thank you. But John, you do so much for so.
Oh, you cut out.
You're the No, I'm here.
Okay.
I think you're the perfect blend to hang with. You know, Chris and Jason, because you guys both spread kindness and empathy. They add the science piece to it. And I think your artwork in a massive time of grief gives some joy and perspective, and it's awesome. But since you do for so others, how can we support you in like donating supplies to you? Because that is not cheap, as I know. And I think it needs to come back to you a little bit. And then a second part of that is I would pay good money to see artwork of the Zakowskis and all the animals in their Comic-Con era and all their little outfits. Because I think that would be cool, like a little between the Mandalorian and all the other stuff when they're in their outfits. I think it would be cool. And third, if you love drawing cats, boy, have I got a cat for you. But I, because she always walks around like a dog with her fake mouth or fake chicken. And she's just a pistol. But big fan of all of y'all, actually. But big fan of your work and what you do for others. And I'll give you the floor.
Oh, thanks, Don. I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, the supplies, it's really just my time and, experience. So I don't have any problem donating the time and I do some commissions now and again, and I use that revenue to buy more paper and more ink. And I remember a joke because I draw very quickly, and that seems to befuddle people about how fast I can draw until they're like, not charging enough and all that kind of stuff. So I remember an old man goes to the dentist and he's got a rotten tooth. He can't sleep, he can't eat, he can't drink. And he sits down in the chair and he's a bit grumpy, and he asks the dentist, dentist says, well, I got to take the tooth out. And he goes, well, how much is that going to cost? And he says, it's going to be $100. He says, well, how long is it going to take? It's going to take about 5 seconds. He says, well, that seems like a lot of money for the time it's going to take. And the dentist says, well, I can make it last as long as you like. So it all comes down to experience and tackling problems, and I love what I do. I recently retired from the real world, so I'm drawing kind of every morning. I have kind of like a sweet spot where I really enjoy drawing after my first couple cups of coffee, sort of around 8 o'clock, and then the creative sort of desire drops off again to early evening. I never want to be in a place where I have to feel I have to draw. I'm drawing because I love it. And then I see sort of when someone sends me a picture that I've drawn of their cat or dog that went over the rainbow, or a funny situation that they went through with, the cat learning to swim, or, dogs getting into trouble. And then just bringing joy to folks that I realized that I did that with a piece of paper and a fountain pen. To me, it just gives me a reason to get up in the morning, because you need a reason to get up. And although retirement sounds like bliss, you do need a mission. You do need to get out of bed. And the pedal falls off the rose pretty quick when you've got nothing to do. I'm super fortunate that I've got this this talent that I work at that can have me on shows like this. But I've had to work at it. It's a 60-year overnight success kind of thing.
Because we're getting questions about this now, John.
Yeah.
If people want you to do some art, or if people want some of your art, do they just message you? And if you have time, or if you have the inclination?
If I follow them on Twitter, that's easy. They can send me a message on Instagram. If I follow them on Twitter, they can send me a note. Other than that, you can email me, which is easier. Because then again, I get into a situation where someone's asked me to draw something. They've sent pet pictures, and then I've forgot where they sent it from, or where they sent me an email, but the pictures are on Twitter, and so email works best.
And are you okay with me putting your email up in the Jumbotron for people who are watching live?
Yeah, and then if someone wants to reach out about, because Christmas is just around the corner. But we're going to do some, I think that Rescue Co-op's got a 3-year anniversary next month. So we're going to do some fun stuff with commemorative auctions, like greeting cards and stuff. There it is. Look at that. It's on the Jumbotron. One of the good things on a Jumbotron these days.
Oh.
Too soon.
It's never too soon.
I might have to put that in a cartoon, actually. I think it might be due.
It's pretty funny.
A cat with a dog at a Coldplay concert.
I know the cat and the dog.
Yeah.
But Deke is in the chat and said, "Hi, Mr. Johnny, it's me, Deke." So they're listening right now.
Awesome. So hopefully the folks, Deke, that we sent, we drew the pictures for, have got them. One was in the mail, and the one with the frame, I think, was going to Texas. So hopefully that gets there. I find that once mail leaves the Canadian, the Great White North, it's a Wild West, and stuff. Stuff takes months or days, and then it's like they tie it to the back of an F-150 and drag it down the road to someone's house. I don't know what the U.S. Postal Service is up to these days, but it's nothing good.
Well, they've been defunded, so.
Oh, yeah.
We have similar troubles when it goes to Europe. I can track it. I'm like, oh, it's going great, and then it just vanishes, and I'm like, well, I hope it gets to Germany.
Well, just as a side note, I heard, I rely on the mail personally to get artwork to people, and I heard that Canada Post is recommending that the union's recommending they don't take the newest offers, so it seems to be ongoing. But anyway.
Yeah, we rely on it too for our stuffies and stuff, so we're watching it as well.
And the calendar that will be coming out, so
a bunch of stuff. Yeah. Anyways, that's a problem for a different day. So maybe we have one more speaker. Do you have time to take one more question and then we'll kind of wrap up, or do you got to get going?
No, I'm good.
Because you're later than us. Is it like 10 o'clock for you right now? 9 o'clock?
It's 8 o'clock here.
Oh, okay. Only an hour.
Seems like 10 o'clock.
Okay, we'll just bring, I'll check the chat again for any. Oh, one question while Belinda's coming up. Do you have a website or just email you?
Just email me right now. I don't have a website yet. That's on my wish list. Ultimately, just to make the process easier, mostly for people who want stuff done. Because there's probably 5 or 6 questions back and forth before I can pull the trigger. And if there's a way for me to have, I did register a website called cartoonification.ca. It's just being parked right now, but I want the ability for folks to upload photos, pay for something, put some notes in, and send it so I can keep track of it better as well. I've got a stack of stuff here that is in no particular order that I try to get to each morning. So it would be, I'd like to be more organized. So no website, email only now. That's the easiest.
So one more time, I'll put the email in there. Looks like Belinda had some trouble connecting. She's been up to speak before, but it didn't work and she got booted. So maybe she lost internet.
And then one more comment here on Twitter in the chat. Ryan, the chief of staff for Rory, says, "You've done so much for Rory. You're so good, and your art is so beautiful."
Oh, it's so nice to hear that sort of stuff because, you know what? I do art and I send it out, but I do work alone. So it is nice to hear feedback from folks that appreciate the stuff that I do. Because I do work in a bit of a vacuum as far as day to day. And then I just entertain myself by drawing. So it's nice that people appreciate it. So thank you, Ryan.
Sounds like how you entertain yourself is a little bit more exciting than how Chris does. Chris, what have you been doing all summer long for fun?
Oh, I've been doing math.
Oh.
Yeah. I've been doing permutations and combinations and the fundamental counting principle, probability. Rational equations I've got, but I just am trying to, I'm just trying to refresh because I have a new course that I'm teaching in the fall. It's grade, well, it's math 30-2. It's a grade 12, it's high school level math. And I just want to make sure I'm fresh and, I know it all.
So I went to a private boys' school growing up for high school, and there was absolutely zero opportunity to have creative outlets. It was math, physics, and chemistry 300 I had to take in high school. And I still remember the distance formula from physics and all the weird things. Strangely enough, you don't need to know that to draw a picture. But
yeah. No, I'm excited.
Love it though, so good for you. Thank you. It's awesome.
Well, thank you for being our guest tonight, John. I so appreciate it. You've done art of our animals in the past, and we've loved it. So I can say it now, to your face, how much we appreciate the art you've done, and especially that one of Ginger on my back, which is really sweet. That one's hanging in our house in the living room, and we have people notice it. They're like, "Oh, that's so cool!" Like people notice it and they make comments. Like it's really fun. Yeah.
Well, that's why I do it, just to put a smile on your face.
Well, thank you.
Well, I appreciate you having me on. So thank you very much. And hopefully everyone enjoys their summer. And I'll check my email tomorrow morning, and maybe there's a few new customers that are going to have some artwork soon.
Right. And you are on Twitter and you are on Instagram. What is your handle on both, just for folks?
You know what? I'm going to have to figure it out again. On X, I am at John Heim, JOHNHEIM.
Right. Okay.
And on Instagram, I am art_by_Heim.
art_by_Heim.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, just so folks can find you.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to add one more thing. Sebastian from the Cowboy Cat Ranch, also in the chat, wants to thank you for all that you do for the animals. We love Dr. Sebastian, so
I've still got some work on my to-do list for him. So let him know it's a work in progress.
Perfect.
That's us too. Like we finished the first start of our Text from Bunsen book. It took us a week. And so we know all the stuff that kind of goes in behind the scenes and trying to create that content.
Draw worth beans, Chris.
We can't draw anything. No, zero.
John,
people maybe.
Johnny's a wizard. I look at what people who have that artistic ability have, and I'm like, how do you do that? It baffles my brain. So yeah.
So before we go, Jason, we were going to give away some prints. We can do that.
Right.
You can do that later if you want.
No, we can do it right now. We've got people listening. So yeah. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Well, just because I've got the dog one behind me here, and I look back at it. So we've got you got the pictures I sent you, right? So we got the cat one, which is sort of a bunch of cats piled up in a car, and then we've got the "Is there room for one more pile of dogs" one. So okay. So
is going to be very generous. You're going to give away 2 dog prints and 1 cat. Is that correct?
Yep. And I'll look after the postage. I just need to get the mailing address either from you guys later, from the winner, or they can send it to me directly.
All right. So we normally give away a prize every show. So we're going to do the same thing, but there are now 3 chances to win. So we need everybody who's watching on live. If you want a chance to win one of those prints, you have to drop a comment because you're just a number to us. Folks who are listening on Twitter Spaces, we see your avatar. So if you would like to win a prize and you're watching, drop a comment, please. So we know that you'd drop it right now. So say, I'm here, I'd like to win, or something. Because all I have are the stats of total viewers, something like 1,300 people so far live. And then we've got 35, 40 people on Twitter, Chris? Something like that.
Yeah. Well, there's 40 on Twitter, on the audio only. Are you able to look on YouTube now too? Cause that's a different tab.
No, the YouTube funnels into this thing. It's pretty slick. I'm not
Oh,
gonna
that's
lie.
awesome.
Yeah, I just got to bounce back and forth to Instagram, and Instagram is on a bit of a delay, so they're about 10 seconds behind. Oh, Kathy says hi from Winnipeg. That's her comment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh my God. Okay, this is a lot. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Ooh, even more. 14. Okay, how many people are watching on Twitter?
39.
39 plus, you're the math person. 39 plus 15 is 44. Is that correct? No. Is 54? 54.
54. Yeah, 54.
Wow, look at me with my mental maths.
You're probably emitting a smell.
40. So that's on Instagram. Somebody has one on Instagram.
Woohoo!
Okay, how many was on Twitter, Chris?
39.
39.
But then
okay.
you'll have to subtract us too.
So 37. So it's the third comment. Ashley Louise Young, you have one of
the prints.
The dog print, we'll say. Ashley Louise Young, who's watching on Instagram, either DM John saying you've won or us, and then we'll get it to him. So you have to DM one of us, direct message, and then we'll get you in contact with John. Okay,
so for the next one, now there's 41 people listening on audio.
Oh, that we've lost some or gained some?
Now there's 42.
People are coming back for the prize. We're coming back from the prize. Okay.
Jason, what we can do if, because, someone may not want the cat one. Yeah. I've got extra dog ones. So if people want to just let me know of the 3, sure. I don't have a problem giving away 3 dog ones. Okay. Just in the comments if they want to just say dog or cat, just so I know what to give them.
All right. So that Louise, sorry, I forgot her name. Louise. Ashley Louise Young. Yeah. Just when you DM us, say which one you'd like. Okay, next one. We are gonna go. I have to bump up the numbers a bit. 57. Okay, here we go. That is number 4 from Twitter.
Ooh.
And it's actually Jamie Rains from Australia.
Oh, Jamie, that's so awesome.
So congratulations, Jamie. The postage is a bit to Australia, to Johnny, but we can send you, we can e-transfer you some to cover the postage.
I know the postage will be $14.98 Canadian. Okay.
If we can help if you'd like. But.
I've been proactive these days. I've got like labels of Canadian, American, and then international is 2 Americans. And what's nice is Jamie mentioned that she didn't have any of my artwork. So now she does.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Okay. Last one, everybody. 7. So this is another person from Twitter Spaces has one. That is it is Sarah Bram from
Sadie.
Oh, whoops.
Yay, Sarah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So Sarah Bram, you have one on Twitter. Congratulations. And thank you for everybody else who was listening. So that's very cool and very generous of you, Johnny. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. All right, I think we'll wrap up. We'll save our stories for next week, hey, Chris?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Yeah. We can talk about our stories next week. All right, hey everybody, thanks for coming to Pet Chat today. Again, thank you to Johnny Heim. John Heim, the aspiring cartoonist. I like your handle there. Thank you for being our guest today and giving up your time.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. When we announced that you were going to be a guest, there was tons of people very, very excited. Definitely a lot of folks on Twitter who know who you are, or X, as a lot of the art is shared there. Yeah. Anything else to add, Chris?
No, just thank you again for being our guest and sharing your joy and passion for all that you do, and the donation of your time to help the rescues, and just the positivity that you have. It's just infectious. And just thanks again. It's just so great. And thank you everybody for coming and listening to our show tonight or in the future, like Jamie, it's the morning for her. And yeah, and for those of you who came up to speak, we appreciate you sharing your stories because it's kind of tough to talk in a large group in front of people. So we just love that you're here with us in our community.
And as we close, if you haven't already known, Fun Facts with Bernoulli, our Fun Facts book is out. It's on our store. Our link is in our bio. We have a limited supply, and we'll cross our fingers if everything goes to plan, in the next 10 days, the Bernoulli stuffies will arrive at our house, and we will start shipping them out to all of the people who so graciously were part of the pre-order campaign. So just a little bit of flog there for our stuff. Okay, take care, everybody, and we will see you next week. We do have another guest next week. It's a lady who works with wildlife rescue. Animals that have injured themselves in the wild, she helps take care of them. And you may remember that was the same lady that Paula spoke about with her bird story. Okay, take care, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.
See you guys.
See you.
Bye.
And